It's really good to be in your beautiful studio this morning.
Yeah.
This is my first time. Yeah, in about 7 years.
Yes.
I remember 7 years ago I sat in the studio.
Yeah, the old
At
studio.
the other end, the old studio.
Yes.
Sorry to say, but those crumbling walls.
I know.
Yeah.
Right now it's called that studio is where Metro FM is.
Metro FM.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
wonderful.
entertainment part of LBS of the
You
radio
have expanded.
oh
to
yeah,
some
quite frankly.
extent,
In fact, we have exclusively for traditional, programming,
Right.
The traditional radio.
Right, that's very good.
Yeah. So
And I must commend Estelle and her team for the work done.
yeah.
But I'm also very optimistic with this huge project that you've got now, the expansion and modernization of your station, LBS, the national broadcaster.
Sure.
I'm sure it's going to be befitting after that. The chairman of the board, the Minister of Information, Culture Affairs and Tourism, signed along with the Chinese the agreement to expand and modernize LBS. I followed. That was really that was really encouraging.
And guess what? I mean,
I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. And I'm told that to the extent that I'm following, I'm told that it's going to be completed in 14 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in 14 months. I think Liberians can't wait to see that expansion. Does that mean our people will have the opportunity to watch television across the country?
Sure.
The country?
Like, I mean, this is the state broadcaster. And guess what? I've been very jealous. I mean, when I saw you making radio appearances at all areas, I said, no, what? I got to go after this guy and bring him. This is the state radio.
This is state radio.
And we try as much as possible to bring, people like you in the public space to come. And this is a new government. You have to come, make the people know about your vision. Apart from that, ELBC covers the entire nation.
Right.
If you go to stations that are just Monrovia based, you deprive the rest of the population the opportunity to get the information. And this is why on the show I try as much as possible to get people like you to come on and explain. But how has it been for you?
But trust me, I appreciate the invitation, and that's why I did everything possible to beat the traffic to be here this morning. First thing, I appreciate it. Our people need this. They need to be informed.
Yep.
We need to update them regularly regarding the things that we do on their behalf to improve their well-being, to improve their lives, and to make government work functionally.
Yeah.
They need to be fully aware of everything that we do to make that happen. So I'm grateful to be here this morning.
Thank you very much. The last time I saw you very active was during the election. Technically you were behind the scene making some things happen to bring the government to where it is today.
Well, I think we should talk about why we are here today and forget about the election.
I understand.
About the election. That was the election. That period has come and gone. Now it's about development.
Yeah.
It's about governance. And I think I like to talk more about that.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, just to tease you a little bit. But how has it been for you? How's the CSA?
It's going well. I've been in the job only 1 month and maybe 2 days. 1 month, 3 days. I've been in the job, but wow, I think a lot has happened. Yeah, in 1 month period.
Make us understand, Mr. Joekai, what the CSA stands for. What is your mandate? What do you do?
The Civil Service Agency is one of the three institutions that the Constitution, 1986 Constitution, talk about. The General Auditing Commission, the National Elections Commission, and the Civil Service Commission that is yet to be established. And I hope that during my tenure we can fulfill that legacy project to elevate the Civil Service Agency to a commission as enshrined in the law, the 1986 Constitution. So, but for now, it is the Civil Service Agency established, by an act of 1973, the very same year I was born.
And today you are the head.
Yes, today I'm the head. So I always say that's providence,
Yeah.
But the agency has a crucial role to play in our governance structure. It's responsible for centralizing personnel management across government. So today the CSA has in its purview 103 spending entities. And usually when we say spending entities, people want to know what that means. Entities that are now revenue generating, but perform different aspects of government's work. to deliver on the mandate of the Liberian
example
people.
Could be LBS.
Yeah, example could be LBS. LBS is within our purview. Even the civil service itself, agency itself, other institutions. Then you have those revenue generating entities like LPRC, like NBA. Those don't fall on our purview. So the spending entities are about 103 right now that fall within our purview. And basically that's what we do. So we take care of human resource management activities defined by other legal instruments that fall within the broader legal framework of our responsibility. So we have the Act of 1973 establishing the CSA, and then we have the civil service standing orders that we are guided by to do all the things that we do, consistent with the Act that created the institution. We also have the human resource management policy manual. So we have those legal frameworks that guide our activities.
So how does one, or what makes one a personnel or an employee of government, for example? What are the processes? What do you need to do?
Right.
If you are from an institution like the CSA itself or LBS.
Right. Correct. So we have section 2 of the civil service standing order that provides for what the civil service does. So every agency, commission, or ministry that is constituting the 103 entities, spending entities, you must notify first when a vacancy exists in your entity. You must. The law says that. It's not me saying it. Section 2 of the civil service standing order notify the civil service agency of the existence of the vacancy, because for each vacancy that exists, or job that exists, or position that exists within any of the 103 has a prescribed set of requirements that the job candidate must meet to fill. And so it's in the purview of the civil service agency to work along with the spending entity in question to fill that position, following all the steps and procedures. So section 35 also of the civil service standing order provides the roadmap for filling the position. And an integral part of that is that the job candidate must complete a personnel action notice. The personnel action notice is very powerful in the sense that
the PAN.
Yes, the PAN, we call PAN. People call it PAN in short. But it's personnel action notice. That is very crucial, and that's why it's enshrined in the civil service standing orders of 2012.
So it's like a form, right?
It's a set of forms that the job candidate has to complete, and you have to provide your personal data, everything, your bio, you have to provide that. And that is critical because if you have a nest of kin, for example, and something happens to you on the job, who benefits? If you are supposed to retire at the end of the day, we have to process, your information and forward that to NASCOM. So we can only know that as the civil service agency when you provide such information to us through the PAN process. The PAN also accounts for your professional background, in terms of your qualification, the skills you have, knowledge, experience that you are going to bring to the job, your abilities to be able to do the job in keeping with the job requirement, and then your cultural faith. I always refer to it as your cultural faith, your core values.
So in essence, what you stand for, informs the CSA.
The CSA,
more about you.
About you as the job candidate comprehensively. So that makes the PAN very, very crucial.
How is it different from the test? I hear a lot about the CSA test.
Yes,
who does take it? Because I haven't taken one.
Yeah, the test is part of the process, very crucial, but unfortunately it was suspended by the previous administration. Yeah, for some reasons I can say here, I don't know. But we are working towards that very robustly. I can tell you that the next strategy or approach to writing the test is going to be different. If you had done a driver's license somewhere in Europe or the United States before, it's going to be similar to that. You will sit and write the test all by yourself on the computer, and automatically you stay there and get the results only that you don't change anything. And it goes straight to a repository at CSA, and we process your test results and notify the corresponding spending entity of the results of the test.
So you can be as qualified, competent, necessary qualification, but you fail the test, you fail.
you feel. But again, there are some other individuals the civil service standing order provides, like people who have a wealth of experience, knowledge, and education, like
so
master's degree, and it's only the Director General of the Civil Service Agency that gives such dispensation to exempt such person from writing the test. Say like you are an expert, I mean per excellence, that we know about, and you can do the job. You have been doing it. You in it, so it's up to the Director General to give such dispensation. But besides that, everybody will be subjected to the testing process. We're working on that, and it's coming up. Once we test run it and we find it to be very successful, to be effective, we will replicate that at all.
Would it be retroactive
at all the
if you already employed with the government? Are you going to go back and
we'll make that decision. When we get there fastly, we'll make that decision, and that will be dependent upon the leadership at the CSA. We have to make that decision, and it has to be in the framework of a policy, because I'm a system guy. I like the system to work. You've been knowing me for so many years. Yes, but a lot has happened at the CSA in the short time I took over.
I was about to ask.
Yes.
How many employees do we have of government now?
67,746 in the employ of the 103 spending entities. That's what we have right now. Right. So, and that's what we are accounting for right now. And maybe in the not too distant future, if we are able to remove some of the discrepancies that the GAC identify in its audit report of 2022.
How many are they?
I cannot sit here and tell you the total, but they are in segments. Yeah. So, for example, the GAC indicated in its findings that there were 9,287 individuals unverified during that process, meaning that they don't know, they cannot account for. There were 166 individuals on that particular payroll that was evaluated, audited by the GAC, who have shared bank account numbers.
Double dippers?
Yeah, double dippers, triple dippers. Yeah, so many that. And it's possible that some of them are not actually real human beings, that the one account number is just being used to funnel money to certain individuals outside of the employ of the civil service. You also have 122 individuals who actually have share mobile money account number. A first question that will come to anyone's mind would be, why should we be paying people through mobile money? But that's a conversation for another day. I've always said, I'm just taking over. I need to understand that better. But what's wrong is the fact that Vafle, Joekai, and the other colleagues sitting here in the studio, all of us are on the same payroll, but we all have one mobile money account that our salaries are going to. Yeah.
They already found that.
Yeah. So those are gross discrepancies that we are not wasting any time. We don't need any multi-sectoral approach to remove those kinds of discrepancies on the payroll, through which government is losing millions every month. We need to take immediate action, drastic action. That's why we've taken some actions. The CSA has instructed our analysts to block the 9,287 individuals illegitimate, according to the Auditor General.
For how many years?
These people have been on the payroll for some time now. They've been on the payroll, and since
the discovery was made by the GAC.
They've been on the payroll, and the Auditor General requested that a moratorium be placed on salary payments to them. That was not done.
So it means that those accounts will not receive pay for the month of
April?
They're
not going to receive pay for the month of April. And yes, come and contest. Come and tell us, oh no, Director General, I'm sorry, even though I fall in that category, but I'm the one, I'm a real human being.
And since you announced that moratorium on those accounts, has anybody come
not
forward?
Yet. They haven't yet. Our analysts, we have set them up. We're setting a desk up at the Civil Service Agency. Notwithstanding, nobody has come here to say anything. Let's just take it one at a time, because this is very critical to explain to the people. No one has come to say that yet, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to disaggregate the number. We're going to do it by entity, and we will send the numbers to those entities, because those entities account for different aspects of the 9,000 plus, and say, here's the list of individuals we believe are illegitimate, and help
you want to make that public?
help us through the verification. No, we're going to send that to the entities, and we're going to work with them to do further verification. We want to take time to do this because this is about our people. This is about people who are supposed to be having jobs. It's critical, because this government is interested in the well-being of the people. You're not just taking anybody off job, but many of these people are potential ghosts. And now here's why we believe that. Since the audit covered 2018 to 2021. The report was published in 2022. The Auditor General released the recommendations. The Auditor General asked them to come in 90 days to be verified. They did not. So it's 2 years later. Now we're talking about this. So we are still saying, as much as you violated the Auditor General.
What is your suspicion?
My suspicion is that these are not human beings. These are just names that are on a payroll through which money, millions being funneled. Trust me, you have $3.7 million that the government is losing monthly
because of that. I was just about to ask that.
9,000, and you have 13.7% of the workforce that accounts for that. That is crucial, it's critical. That should even be undebatable in terms of solving that problem. So we're taking.
You say how many dollars been?
$3.7 million. The government is losing
from the 9,000 ghost names.
Plus. Yes. Then you have 166 individuals who have shared bank account numbers. Say you, Vafle, Joekai, and the rest of the folks in here, for example, we are 4 or 5. The 5 of us share one bank account number.
How possible can that be?
Okay, that's the question. And you don't expect me to answer that question. So we want to know why we're having the shared bank account. So we also block those 166. The government is spending more than $30,000 monthly on those people. Then we have 122 individuals that were paid through mobile money accounts. And then on that, we have like Vafle and Joekai having one share mobile money number.
In practical terms, if you dial that number, does it ring?
Well, those are the things that we're going to do. Those are the things that we're going to work on. I just took on the job, a month and a half. And
you look very practical and intentional about
yes, because we said to the Liberian people that we have to fix the economy. We have to solve the problems of the economy. We have to improve the economic well-being of the Liberian people. And that's why beyond the implementation of the recommendations, I'm taking practical steps. The leadership at the CSA is taking practical step to improve the well-being and the livelihood of the people. And I'm going to talk about some of those steps we're taking in a short space of time.
Yeah, tell us.
The first one is the 50% salary advance that we reach an understanding with EcoBank for all civil servants. So we launched that. The EcoBank managing director and I launched that last week. And this is what it does. The salary advance 50%, you can take up to 50%. It doesn't mean you have to take 50%. Yeah, you can take 20%, you can take 30%, but it's your salary. You make the decision how much you want to take. But the good news is that you will pay in 30 days through salary deduction, and you are only going to pay back 3%. Only 3% on what you take. 3%. Have you heard that before here? We borrow money from individuals. Okay? And we pay 25% interest when we're paying back. We borrow money, we take 20%. It's with EcoBank for now. The other banks are coming. They've already reached out to me since we launched the scheme. Yeah, since we launched the scheme.
So why was EcoBank chosen in the first place?
No, not chosen.
Oh, okay.
We had a conversation.
EcoBank open door.
Yes, and we endorse it and we discuss with them, the structure and everything so that it benefits our people. If you have to do it, you have to do it at this rate. So this is leadership. That's exactly what we're doing. So now it's available. Anybody can do that. You can open your enhanced salary account with EcoBank, and you know how it works. Vafle is so superb because all you have to do when you open your account, make sure that 1 month salary goes in there. Once that happens, you start to operate it. You only have to dial *326# and you get a prompt. It asks you how much you want to take, how much salary
of your salary?
you want to take. Yes,
50% of the salary. So if you make $100,
$100, $50. You make $500, you can take up to $250. You make $600, you can take up to $300. So it prompts and they ask you how much do you want to take. So if you're making $600, you put there $300. You do your stuff. That's it. The next thing, walk down the road to the ATM. It goes straight to your account. Go to the ATM and collect the $300 that yes. So other commercial banks have already reached out to me regarding this. I will be meeting with them. We have the schedule.
What is the goal of this?
The goal of this is to allow our employees to have money anytime they want to have it. And this is just a prelude to part of my vision that has to do with the bi-weekly payment. It's just a prelude. We have already started our conversation with the commercial banks, but what we want to do in the immediate term is to clean the payroll, is to streamline the workforce. That is by removing the discrepancies, inefficiencies. This is not about people who are legitimately on the payroll. No, it doesn't target them in any ways. It's about removing these inefficiencies, these discrepancies from the payroll, then match that measure with the wage bill. Once that is done, we are going back to the commercial banks, sit with them and say, hey, we are recommitting. This is a responsible government. We are assuring you that, for example, on the 25th of every month or the 28th of every month, we will make the remittances to you for salary payments to our people. So when we reach that understanding, then in the context of your corporate social responsibility, we want you to pay the first 2 weeks salaries to our employees. The banks will not say no. I already started having conversations. They are lined up because they want to do that.
They're going to be a trust.
Yes, a trust.
Credibility.
And that's what we do. I'm not going to do it alone as CSA. We are going to do this as a team, a multi-sectoral approach. We're going to be working with the Ministry of Finance to engage with the commercial banks, and say pay them the first 2 weeks upfront. And they pay the first 2 weeks upfront. You're making $500. They give you the first $250 after 2 weeks into the month. And then when we make the remittance, when government make the remittances to the commercial banks, just as I indicated, we will agree on a particular day in the month, the 25th.
So the percent is 3%.
No, there's no percent on that. That's the bi-weekly payment. Is your salary payment. That's a policy.
So discount, nothing.
There are nothing that we have to do that. They do it in other countries. Why can't we do it here? It works. Yeah. So we partner with the commercial banks. We make sure that our people receive.
For example,
yes,
if I make $100,
yes,
I take an advance salary of $50.
That is under the ECOWAS scheme. You will pay 3% before we can introduce the bi-weekly payment. There are two things we're talking about here. The EcoBank salary advance payment is what we have launched.
Okay,
but that is preceding the bi-weekly payment vision that I have.
Okay.
Yes. We are going to initiate the bi-weekly payment a few months from now. And that's the payment we will go back to the commercial banks to do. So when we make a commitment and reassure them, because the banks are hesitant, they are apprehensive because of their recent past experience. Yes, with government. Yeah, but there's confidence, commitment and trust. And so we have to reassure, we have to restore that, we have to rekindle that spirit. And that's what we're going to do. Once we do that, then we launch the bi-weekly payment. Then we ask them to pay upfront the first 2 weeks because they are confident that by the 25th, we're going to make the monthly remittance for the salary payment. Once we make the remittance,
but Mr. Joekai, to get yourself into that kind of arrangement, it means that the Ministry of Finance should be in the position to pay at the date as per the agreement.
Yeah, but that's what I said.
Has government agreed to pay employees on the 25th or the 28th of every month?
No, hold on. I am saying this is a new vision. This is how we want to go about it.
I understand.
I am saying that this will be an understanding between the CSA and Ministry of Finance. Okay. We won't even go to the commercial banks if we don't have that
assurance from
Finance Ministry.
Okay.
But I am saying that this is a practical policy that works in other places across the world. We have to make it work for our people. There are several economic benefits that I'm going to enumerate. I'm going to tell you about, dividends that can accrue from that. So if we make the remittances on the 25th or the 28th as a government to the commercial banks, then they pay the last 2 weeks on the 30th, meaning we square out. The banks receive their remittances, but they pay our people.
Mr. Joekai, the fact of the matter is salary in Liberia does delay.
Yeah,
it does delay.
So it's not changing the way we remit. You need to understand that. It's not we are remitting once. We are remitting for the entire month. It's not changing the way we remit.
Is that a reason why the finance ministry or the comptroller general, I think, withheld the salaries of some comptrollers?
I don't want to go into that.
For late financial statements.
Well, I need to talk to the comptroller and accounting general about that. I saw that. I read it in the media. It's not a conversation we've had. We have a very good relationship. The CAG and it's something I can just walk to his office to get informed about. I will talk about that when I get more information regarding that. But
I'm coming from the background where I want to have sufficient guarantee that the commercial banks again will not lose faith in the government.
No, they won't. They won't, because this is a responsible government. This is a government that came on a matter of accountability, transparency, trust, and confidence of the Liberian people. And we have to uphold that. Part of upholding that is to make good our promises to different institutions, not just the commercial bank. And we are on track with that. So basically, this will come to fruition when the CSA and the Ministry of Finance, consummate an understanding and go as a unit, as a government to the commercial banks and say, this is what we want to do, and give them reassurances and readjust the current understanding that we have with the commercial banks to include a specific date on which we will make remittances to the central bank so that they can pay our people timely. Now, let's talk about the dividends that come. You put money in the pockets of civil servants throughout the month. You are empowering them sufficiently. You are increasing their purchasing power. Say a guy or a lady takes $500.
You wouldn't even know if your salary is small.
$500. Correct. 500. That's the first thing.
There'll be a frequency of
and you take $250 the first 2 weeks. That guy or that lady is able to invest $50 or $100 in the small scale business for additional empowerment, not just living on paychecks from paycheck to paycheck. Is able to invest in small scale business, even able to increase the envelope of their loan portfolio from the bank. They can take bigger loans. The bank will be very confident of the person paying because of the frequency of payment, like the rightfully said. Yeah. Then you find money, flowing frequently, consistently in their pockets, and then you find money circulating in the economy. We don't even have, as the government, we don't have to set aside millions to be able to address liquidation issues.
All you need to do is to manage for 2 weeks.
Yes, that's all. Then you have money coming in the next 2 weeks. Then you don't have to borrow money as a government, borrow millions to deal with liquidation issues in the economy, because there will be constant investment in the economy. So money will be flowing and circulating in the economy, freely, consistently. And like that, you will also be addressing liquidation issues. So there's huge economic benefit to this. So we're going to engage with that. But one other thing we have done, and want to thank the president so profoundly for taking the action. In the last 18 years, the Board of Appeal of the CSA was not reconstituted.
Yes.
So immediately we requested the CSA notify His Excellency the President about it. He wasted no time in reconstituting the appeal board. Somebody will say, but why Joekai is placing premium or importance on that? It's very critical, because you have the examining board on a daily basis. As Director General, I receive complaints from across the functionaries of government on wrong dismissal, on wrong transfers, and it is now in my place as Director General to preside over that. We have a special examining committee that takes care of that hears that. And once the examining committee hears that and comes up with a verdict or the results, it's up to the complainant or the defendant to take an appeal to the appeal board. But can you imagine, in the last 18 years, we never had an appeal board? So you should imagine what was happening to all the cases that were coming and needed to be appealed to the board. That's why I wasted no time. We notify His Excellency, and in no time His Excellency acted. So we now have an appeal board. We have done that in less than a month. The next thing we are working on is the consultancy policy. And we need to talk about that, because there was consultancy that was done across government, and should always be done, because there's need for capacity enhancement, there's need for skill up, in employee skills and abilities, institutionally and on the job as an individual. That has to be continuous. So but in the last fiscal year, the government lost $6.1 million to consultancy alone. And we have more than 900.
What does that mean? These consultants were taking more?
They were taking money, many of them,
not
for job, not perform.
In the
some
form
of them not even saying. I'll give you a classic example. At the CSA, I decided to do a case study. And I asked for the folders of all the consultants that provided consultancy in that fiscal year, last fiscal year. And there were about 18 of them. I looked in those folders, no valid contracts. I looked there, no reports for services.
Did you see the 18 of them?
No, I have not seen the 18 of them physically. That's just the folder. I was doing my own text review. No terms of reference. Not at all. No terms of reference.
Reports?
No reports on services provided. No timesheet. And I was told that a hair count was done once last year.
But it's not a bad thing for an entity to get a consultant.
You should, because it supports your capacity enhancement institutionally and individually. That is very critical. But it was wrongly done. It was wrong, completely wrong, to hire people without any terms of reference in their folders to say this is what they're supposed to do, in keeping with the scope and nature of the consultancy that they're supposed to provide, both individual consultants and consultancy firms. That was absolutely wrong. They received money for services not performed. So even the hair count that was done, six did not participate in the hair count. Up to now, they don't know them, but they receive payments under the arrangement.
And frequently so.
They did so for the period. So what we have done, we have taken concrete steps to address that problem. In 1 month time, we have crafted a policy. And the policy is a set of guidelines to guide the entire consultancy process across government functionaries. That policy is with the cabinet. They are reviewing it. And once the cabinet is okay with it, His Excellency the President is going to launch it and announce the commencement of consultancy across government. And we have proposed only $2 million that we're going to use for the next fiscal year, meaning we are saving $4.1 million. Yes, we are saving 4.1. Whatever scope and nature of consultancy that the $2 million can provide for is what we're going to work within for the first fiscal year.
In practical terms, what a consultant should be making at LBS should be the same at CSA?
No flat rate. So consultancy, no, remuneration will be on the basis, compensation will be on the basis of the nature and scope of consultancy you're providing. We'll get your terms of reference from the entity concerned.
Who regulates that? The CSA?
The CSA.
Or the
CSA centralized that. Centralized personnel management. So consultancy falls within our purview. We will have to work with the entities concerned to hire, to manage consultants who provide services for them. That is clear.
Will you also detect payment?
So we will also determine payment, not dictate payment, determine payment based on the level of professional work to be done, the scope and nature of the work to be done. So that is what we are doing. Key to know is that we have drafted a policy framework to guide consultancy across government, unlike the past. And we're going to do consultancy, whether for individual consultants or for consulting firms, it's going to be in the framework of that legal instrument. And we are also saving $4.1 million from the last fiscal year. They use 6.1. We are saving $4.1 million. We are going to work within the cap we proposed to the Ministry of Finance, $2 million for that. So the other thing we have done, we have requested the GSC to solve some of these payroll issues. The last audit was done between 2018 and 2021. And I really congratulate the former president, Weah, for mustering the courage, for the GSC to conduct the audit.
Even though the audit may not look good?
No, not that. Even though they did not implement the recommendations of the audit. But I mean, we have to commend them for
but if the audit didn't look good, Obviously, the implementation.
No, it did not look good. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, that was what
and that's what we are implementing now. We are only implementing what the Auditor General recommended, which is the good thing to do. So,
do we have a timeline to when the audit is valid?
I don't think we have any statute of limitation when it comes to implementing the recommendation of the audit, right? We don't have statute of limitation that I know about.
The reason why I asked, because I don't want you to fall into a breach,
and that's why I'm saying we did some of those background check to know some research to know whether or not we have any statute of limitation for the implementation of the audit recommendation. We do not so far. But there's something that I need to talk about. A new audit is coming. We requested a GSC to conduct a new audit of the payroll compliance audit, comprehensive, and that should be from the time the last audit was conducted. The last one was conducted from 2018 to 2021. Between 2021 and 2023, a lot happened that we don't know at all. And graciously, the GSC has accepted in the framework of their mandate to do that audit. In fact, it's a major undertaking of the government. I want to congratulate the GSC for agreeing to do that. The Minister of Finance, thanks to Minister Kamara and his team, they are working with the GSC on the financing aspect, and the scope of the audit will just be the same as the scope of the one they did, because the one they did was forensic, and so they will follow suit to do the same thing, so we can know exactly what happened as of 2021 to 2023. So that audit is coming. That audit will help us a lot.
So give us in detail what is the audit all about.
The audit is a comprehensive payroll compliance verification process, evaluation process. So that's what we're going to do. It's similar to the one they did from 2018 to 2021. And we think it's just fair enough for them.
Yeah, but the disappointment about these audits, Mr. Joekai, I'm going to be very frank with you, is that these audits, they are done to inform future, to correct future wrongs. I mean, wrongs. But there's nothing in the audit that talks about prosecution. So it's like you committed a crime by doing a wrong.
We are taking it a step further. This audit implementation, there is no way we can have a whopping $3.7 million we can be losing to people we don't know, and we sit and think that that's a nice thing to do. This Director General sitting before you is committed to making recommendations to the Justice Ministry to prosecute people who are responsible for creating these discrepancies on the payroll. This is crime. And you know what it looks like? It looks like an organized crime.
Like a syndicate.
That's what it looks like. And so it's not hard for us to dig deeper to know who people were responsible for payroll management and control.
Why not take corrective measures?
The first corrective measure we're taking is to address the discrepancies by removing them from the payroll. That's the first step. The second step would be Amami, when I was on Spoon, said, Director General, that was his recommendation. He said, don't only remove ghost names, but also deal with the ghost employers. You understand that? For me, that was deeper. That was my major takeaway from the show. Amami, he said that. He said, Director General, don't just remove ghost names, but address the ghost employers issue. Because you know why? When we remove the ghost names and disregard the ghost employers are stay there. They will stay employed. So we will deal with the ghost employers. Whoever was responsible for creating those discrepancies, because it was intentional. All right. They defrauding government millions of dollars on a monthly basis. So we'll go after the ghost employers to address this problem once and for all. Go after the ghost employers, make sure they are prosecuted. Then the next thing you want to do, put in place appropriate human resource management systems that will prevent the reoccurrence of these things.
So we are committed to that. New ingredient to the audit that's coming up is there will be prosecution attached to it.
I don't know what the Auditor General is going to recommend. I don't know what that falls in the purview of the Auditor General. But what our another Auditor General recommends that in the audit, the CSA is ready to take a step further.
No, but you can implement what is not recommended.
No, we don't have to. It doesn't have to be. That's crime. Wherever we see crime, the Ministry of Justice should tell me that doesn't.
But the audit report will not say that.
If the audit report doesn't say that, the Ministry of Justice should tell me that it is not in your purview to recommend people for prosecution. So I will recommend, and the Justice Ministry tells me that you are not supposed to, and I will abide by that because the law is the law. But if the Justice Minister feels that it is my right as an official of government, head of an entity responsible to regulate that, that it's in my purview to recommend prosecution for people who are responsible for committing what looks like crime, then they will go ahead and take the actions. That then good for the country. Yeah. The country benefits. So it's not about me as an individual. It's about the country, what we're doing. So one other thing that we are initiating is credential verification.
Yeah, I was coming there.
Credential verification.
Yeah, credential evaluation, verification, and education services.
Yes.
Quite a long name, service.
Yes, service. Oh, there is, in fact, by the way, one institution that does that. Very credited for that. They work with West, the World Education Services. You know, I'm currently doing my dissertation. In industrial organizational psychology. You know, I'm doing that at Adler University in the United States of America. And this is workforce leadership and institutional development. That's why a lot of people think that I'm the best fit for this job. Yeah. So I was subjected to the credential evaluation process to be admitted to the university. They evaluated all my credentials and they background checks on me to qualify me to give me admission to the university. So West is also working with the St. Sylvester group. There is the highest also in India is working with this group, and so we're going to be having this group do a presentation to us on how to go about the verification of credentials, you know, and educational services
in the civil service space.
This is going to be across government functionaries. If we succeed, we are going to develop a policy framework for credential verification in this country that will subject every public official to credential verification. So that will have to be a clear understanding.
No. If you say public official, there are public officials who are not civil servants.
Yeah.
So shouldn't there be a distinction between, you know, credential audits of civil servants?
Not just civil servants. We will be proposing beyond civil servants. I want to say that here. We'll be proposing if the executive does not deem it necessary to go beyond civil servants, then fine. But how about people who are going to be occupying
the political will for
the political will for that? How about people who are serving in this key position, managing resources in this country? You don't want to know their academic background, their educational standing. As far as professional qualification is concerned, those are ingredients, serious ingredients. So if they come with certain documents claiming to have earned them, it has to be proven. They do it across the world. Why? So take, for example, if we develop a policy that says that when you are nominated by the president, you proceed straight to the credential verification institution. That's the first step. Don't go to the Senate. And that has to be done with an understanding of the Senate. If you're nominated by the president, go and get your credentials verified. When they are verified, before you go to the Senate for confirmation, for the confirmation hearing. So those are the kinds of conversations we want to be having around that. In the civil service, we're going to look at senior management level positions for now, you know, say like directors, you know, managers, deputy directors, then you must be subjected to the credential verification exercise.
When do we see this rolled out?
This one, we have the guys coming to do the presentation to us at the civil service. We want to understand the way it works because it has to be consistent with established international benchmarks to make sure that it works effectively and efficiently for everybody, works fairly for everybody. And once we begin to see that, we can bring some level of professionalism to public service. Yeah, so the CSA is also considering that very seriously.
Okay, you're listening to the Super Morning Show on ELBC Radio. We have in studio the Director General of the Civil Service Agency, Mr. Josiah Joekai. I can't even imagine that we're almost exhausting the 1 hour. But I mean, we'll come to the cause. Very shortly, we'll take calls. But I'm reading here the moratorium on illegitimate employees on payroll, consultancy policy. The Liberia National Police, for example, 98 individuals.
Yes.
Liberia Land Authority, 49.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 violation of presidential mandate.
Yeah. So we are working with the spending entities to do basic hair counts ahead of the GSC audit.
Are you alarmed by what you've seen?
Yes, I am alarmed by what I see. but I am inspired because we have the opportunity, and thanks to the president, because we have the opportunity to fix the problems. I'm alarmed but inspired to be able to work with my colleagues at the civil service agency to take the necessary steps to solve these problems.
But you've been around for long.
I've been around.
Should it be new to you?
Yeah, shouldn't be new to
it's
me,
on the
but
increase.
I am just getting to understand from where I sit. Yeah, the scope and nature of my work provides me an opportunity to understand further. How profound this is and how it's affecting our country, how it's affecting public service, how it's affecting governance, because it's strenuous. 67,000 plus civil servants, and government is spending $23.5 million to service that on a monthly basis. $23.5 million in this economy. Yeah,
that's how many percent of the total national budget.
We have to be
nothing left for development.
We have to be ready to fix this problem. If we have to realize our development plans for the country, we have to fix it, and that's why I'm taking it head on. And that's why I think that this is in the best interest of our country. I'm doing that. So those numbers you are calling, we're doing basic hair counts at these institutions, and people are not accounted for. And some of them is established clearly, like land authority. Those are all ghosts. We've blocked those already. In fact, we've removed those. Those are not human beings.
You don't need further
so nobody is going to alarm on that. The Liberian National Police will block those for the month of March. The 98 will block them already.
And Mr. Joekai, especially when you know that entity is very small to have that number of employees.
So you see why,
So you don't need further investigation. Say for example, if you come and say, okay, should LBS have 500 employees?
No, that is a red flag. Yeah, then you need to move over quickly and do a basic hair count. And that's exactly what we are doing. You know that we did hair count at the CSA last week, Wednesday and Thursday. We did hair count. It's going to continue and finish today. And the report is going to come to me. The same way I'm talking about land authority, the next time I appear on a station or something, I should be able to talk about the findings of the hair count that we did at CSA. That's how serious we are with this process. Those that we found to be ghosts in the employ of the CSA will go. We will get them out. They will go. Yeah, so we're not going to spare any moment.
Okay, let's take calls because I have to leave you. You have a meeting.
I have another meeting.
080514096, 080514096, 7705818886. Mr. Josiah Joekai is the Director General of the Civil Service Agency. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning. What's the name? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Go ahead, sir. Good morning. Go ahead. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, since we've lost that caller, let's hear from this person. Morning. Good morning. Okay, but call us on 07705818886, 080514096. Let's hear from this person. Morning. Hello. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you very much. Call us on 080514096. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your studio guests.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, sorry for the feedback. My name is Josiah F, and I'm from District Number 6, Maswaro County.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I appreciate your studio guest for the brilliant works that he is doing for the Liberian people, most especially to ensure that a lot of wasted spending be extracted from government budget. That is appreciable. I'm commencing that I want to encourage him that he should continue to do all of the works. You know, when you're speaking, he spoke on an issue that really touches me. And for us, some of us that have been given an opportunity to work out, that's the way it happens. Especially the frequencies in payment that he spoke about. It makes an individual to not go out of funding. Is a very good program. And you think what is happening out there can also happen here. That's why some of us, we believe that Joseph Imabwaka has a leadership capability, and with the guys that are coming on board, with the passion they have, with the experience, with the education, with the love they have, Liberia will move to another level. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Joekai, you just have to respond to some of the a lot of commendations, but also I think one particular person was concerned about dismissal, people habitually and because of some personal misunderstanding at the entity will just want to displace.
Absolutely. And that's why he's talking about we should go ahead with the policies we are instituting. And I just want to assure that caller that we're doing exactly that. So one caller in particular placed emphasis on the ghost employers. You remember I told you earlier, and that catches his heart. He wants us to take action on the ghost employers, not just the ghost employees, because the ghost employees did not get on the payroll by themselves. They were put on the payroll by certain individuals. Yeah, so you have to go after those if you have to solve this problem. Otherwise, you remove the ghost employees, the ghost employers bring them back.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you don't
do you believe that they're still in the system?
Yes, I believe that. They're in the system. If they're not in the system, we wouldn't be having.
But some could be from higher ups who are not there anymore.
Our investigation will tell us the extent.
Well, Mr. Joekai, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope to, bring you on anytime again. We have new development. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rafley. It was a great opportunity, and always don't hesitate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, he's Mr. Josiah Joekai, the head of the Civil Service Agency, who've been here talking a lot of things about the civil service. My name is Vafle Kamara. Join me tomorrow for another presentation of the Super Morning Show. Bye-bye.